But to revisit something as traumatic as abuse can be frightening up front, but it's certainly worth the healing that's going to come out on the other end.
Well, hey there, folks. It's Rachel here. I am just checking in to see how y'all are doing this fine week. It's a beautiful day here in San Francisco, and I'm getting ready to head out and go down to Santa Cruz and enjoy some sunshine before I go off to my storytelling workshop. Stay tuned. I'll be sending some more updates about that. But for this moment, I want to take a moment just to encourage you all as you are in this process of healing. It's a little bit like a treasure hunt. Okay, is this going to support me? Is this going to work? Oh, what tool really helps me there? And one of the things that we're exploring this month is somatic therapy and interventions. So most of you are probably aware that I work oftentimes on the first level, cognitive behavioral. So I'm looking at how the brain and nervous system has been impacted by abuse and trauma, and how do we heal using kind of cognitive behavioral interventions. But my program actually includes a broad range of modalities at the end of the day, because one of the things that I know from my own journey and from research and doing this work for 12 years is that sometimes we access healing from different entry points. So in the video that I'm sharing here with you all today, Adele talks about a somatic strategy or modality that she experienced that was able to help her work through some trauma that was locked. And by coming at it from a somatic angle, she was able to access it and work through it. And to my mind, it's an interesting thing that I noticed, that sometimes people are like, you must heal somatically, you must work with the body, you have to do it that way. Trauma is stored in the body, there's no other way to get it out. And then the people who are more brain-based are like, no, 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 we must come at it this way. And I want to just offer that while we personally might resonate with different modalities and find some more helpful than others, that having a broad range of ways of working with trauma is really important. So when you're seeking out support and guidance, therapist, coach, whatever it might be curious about that and make sure that they actually understand how to work on all of those levels. Because sometimes working with something in a cognitive way unlocks it, you're good to go, off to the races. Sometimes we need that somatic experiencing work to bolster it, to back it up, or to access it. A couple of years ago, just as a way of experiencing the way that one of my colleagues works with somatic experiencing, she was taking me through one of her processes and reflections. And she was asking me to go back, and I was telling her that I was having a lot of pain in my jaw recently. I was really clenching my teeth and had just noticed that. I thought, oh, it's just stress related. I'm busy. Things in my life are going on. But she asked me to get curious about that and to think back and notice if there was any trauma that I had experienced. And I went right back to a memory. It's a vague memory. It's one of those memories where it's like, I think it's true. It might not be true, but it feels really true, of being orally raped. And she takes me through this process and this reflection, and then asks me, if you could go back to that moment, what would you have wanted to do with your jaw, with your mouth? And I just started chomping, like literally, like, and it was this moment of all of that negative trauma and energy that was being stored. By activating the response that I wish I could have had in that moment, I could feel all of that trauma around that release. And Adele talks about that in a similar way here in the video, an experience that she had around being bitten by a dog and thinking back to that moment and what does she wish she could have done. And this is a really powerful way to engage with your trauma memories. So we often think about, oh, I wish that hadn't happened, right? This is a really common thought. Why did that happen? I wish it hadn't happened. But I think the more powerful way to engage with trauma memories at times is actually to ask ourselves, what do I wish I had done in that moment? Not should have done. because that assumes that we actually knew better or could have done better. And that's not the case. You know, we're little people, we're experiencing trauma, we're doing the best we can in the context of what we know and understand. But if we can kind of get into this wishful thinking without shaming ourselves, or I should have done that, why didn't I do that? That's not the point here. The intention is to actually give yourself permission to do the thing that you wish you could have done. I've used this in other exercises or other times in my life where it's like, I really wish I could have punched that person, right? And I get a pillow and I punch it out, right? So this is a powerful way to connect in to your body and give yourself permission and space to actually do the thing that you didn't get to do. And by way of that, free yourself. So I look forward to hearing your questions and your comments, and certainly as you're working with this strategy and exploring that, I'd love to hear what comes up for you and what you notice. And as always, if there's anything that I can do to support you in the meantime, I'm here. So keep me posted and keep checking in, and thank you for being such a wonderful, powerful community of healers and survivors and beyond survivors. I'll talk to you all again soon.